You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Nashville After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Nashville After Show.
We are ready.
Yeah!
So excited. What an episode,
It was a
people.
great episode. We are pumped up here tonight. Hey guys, welcome to another AfterBuzz TV after show for Nashville, Season 2, Episode 18. We're getting down there this season. This one is called Your Wildlife's Gonna Get You Down.
Might be happening to a few of those Nashville characters.
I think so, some of the drama that came up tonight. Well, we're so excited tonight because we have a very special guest that we don't have in studio. We're going to give him a call on the phone. Ed Amatrudo, who plays our favorite Glenn Goodman, who
Oh,
we all
Glenn,
love.
yeah.
Such a nice guy, and he's so kind to speak with us tonight. So if you guys just want to stand by for a second, we are going to try to get him on the line.
And I'm Whitney Lane.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got so excited by the guest, I blew right through that.
Always happens.
Whitney Lane and JJ Jurgens, and engineering we have
Marissa.
What's up, everyone?
Another Nashville fan. I mean, aren't they everywhere? So we're very excited. That was the best that I've seen so far.
Oh,
And
So-
we actually thought the finale was next week. Luckily, we've
Yeah.
got three or four more episodes to
Yeah.
go. So
which is good because like tonight's episode there was so much going on that I hope they're
Can
just
only
going to
imagine
keep
what's gonna happen.
building. It'll be good.
that's the best.
Hello, are you there, Ed?
I'm here. How you doing?
Hey, we're so excited. We are Team Glenn for sure.
Yeah, baby. All right.
Not gonna lie, for a second I thought we were gonna lose Glenn there when Juliet was going to LA, and we were like, no, we love him. He's the only one that she can actually be herself with. So we're glad that you are there.
Well, let me tell you, you're not anywhere near as glad as I am.
I bet. I can only imagine how much fun that is.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so
we're having
much.
a good time.
Thanks so much for. I know you're a couple hours later there, then, so we appreciate you hanging out and giving us a call here, talking to us.
No, that's fine. You know, I was just saying that after the show's over, it takes another hour just to get through the tweets that it gets so backed up, you know?
Totally makes sense.
I bet. Well, and you're so good. I've had, some of your fans reaching out to us tonight because they knew you were going to be talking here, and they just said that you are so kind to all of them, and they're just huge fans of yours because of all the time you take to interact with your fans. Is that something that's really important to you?
Well, I really appreciate that. And the thing is, like, the fans are so great. I mean, how could you not take some time to communicate with them? They're wonderful, and they're incredibly creative, and they're so funny. I mean, I don't know if you guys see the stuff that they post on Twitter and on Facebook. I mean, it's amazing stuff. Beautiful artwork, all kinds of posters, slogans, you name it. I mean, they just keep it coming. It never ends. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. We had one specific question from a fan. What was that?
Yeah, we actually had a couple. I said I'd give them shout outs. It was Jennifer's, my killer name, Suzerain says, how does Glenn feel about Javery? So Juliet and Avery.
I love those guys together. I mean, first of all, I mean, in real life, both of them they're the best people ever. But I just love those two characters getting together. They're so good for each other, and they work off of each other so well. I just think they're a great influence. And it's funny because I always feel like, I mean, Glenn always feels like, oh, there's, I kind of like the idea of this Avery kid being with Juliet. Finally, she got somebody her own age. He seems like a good guy. He's no trouble. He's not crazy. And I think they're cute together. They make a great couple.
Now she can complain to someone else as well, so that's got to take the load off Glenn a little bit, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
We had one other one from, or actually we'll do two more from a fan, then we'll get back into some other questions. But KM says, when will Glenn sing?
Do you sing, Ed?
I do, but I've not been asked to. I've not been asked to, but maybe at some point in time, if they get desperate enough.
Well, we would love it. I bet that would be
Yeah.
great. Seems like every cast member on the show
Exactly.
can sing, so that's good to have all those talents.
Well, but David Alford, the guy that plays Bucky, and I, we plan on putting our own act together, the manager.
Love it.
Nice. When the
Yeah,
show's
we'll go
over,
then.
seems like you guys could always do Nashville, the Broadway musical, with all the talent you guys have.
There you go.
Hey, well, I mean, did you hear about this thing that's happening at the Ryman on Saturday when everybody's going to be singing live?
That's
Oh.
right. What is that called again? I just read something about that, but yeah.
You know, off the record, on the record.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. That's right. I wrote that in news. We'll be talking about that later. It's called,
Yeah.
let me see. It's going to be the music special, right? That for
Yeah.
all of Nashville. Yeah. That's going to
I
be
think it's going to
awesome.
be really good.
Nashville on the record. So we'll talk more about that later during news. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'll be so cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's going to be great, and everyone's looking forward to it.
And the last question from our viewers.
My favorite.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot, but Common Room says they love you, and then they said, "What are you drinking tonight?" I guess the word's out that you drink during these live tweets.
Well, I only do because I was encouraged to do that by the writer.
There you go.
Get your thoughts flowing.
Yeah, right. But actually, you know what? Every night, every Wednesday night, I have red wine. And today, I was running around. I was doing some work on my house, and I didn't have time to get any. So I was out. I had nothing. In fact, I'm having a cup of tea right now. It's horrible.
Well, next week. There's always next week, luckily.
Yeah, well, I can double it up next week since I didn't have any.
There
this
you
week.
go.
Yeah.
2 glasses.
You earned it.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about how you came to get the character Glenn. What was that audition process like?
The audition process was long. I mean, it was fun, but it was long. And to be honest, this is one of those great stories where there was no there was no long-term contract or plan for this character. It was going to be kind of a one and done, to my knowledge. And then, you know, the pilot turned into a couple of episodes, and then more, and then the second season. It's just a great story. It was a great blessing, you know.
For sure. I mean, you definitely have a great storyline now because honestly, Juliet, you're the only one she really can trust from the beginning. So it's fun to see her kind of become vulnerable and talk to Glenn all the time about everything that she's struggling with.
Yeah, and they've made changes to our relationship over time, which I think has been very nice. You know, that they're making it less adversarial and more sort of teamwork. You know.
Yeah, we sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I mean, and it's just it's nice to see that their relationship is a little bit more starting to feel a little bit more personal than just business all the time.
We really loved the episode when you were ready to take a step back and leave being her, manager in order for her to go pursue the more Hollywood type of thing. Can you talk a little bit about how that transition for you guys was in that episode?
Well, I gotta tell you, I'll tell you a quick backstory on that. I hadn't seen the episode. I hadn't gotten the script, and I got to the set to do the table read, and I ran into to David, again, the guy that plays Bucky, in the lobby, and he's like, "Hey, did you see what happens?" I'm like, "No, why?" He goes, "Oh well, if you didn't see it, then I'm not going to tell you." So I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I ran into the room, and I'm quick trying to find out what's going on. And of course, this is news to me. I'm finding out right then that Glenn is quitting. You know? And it was.
Whoa.
And then David said, he said it's okay. He said before Ray said it's okay because I think it works out at the end, but I saw the script 3 weeks ago, so I couldn't tell you if they made any changes.
Oh, no.
Lord, that
Was
is
your
not
heart
scary.
just, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was an interesting day. But it was a great scene. Let me just tell you, Hayden is the best actor. I mean, you guys, I can't even explain to you. What you see on TV, it's not like, oh, they finally got a good take out of her. She is perfect every take, whether she's on camera or off camera. She's an amazing actor. She makes everything easy. She's just a total gem to work with, and that's why she makes scenes like with the two of us work, because she's there working it.
That's great. That's great to have somebody who is like that. It makes, definitely can imagine it makes it easier. But yeah, tonight we were not liking her that much. So she must play her character very well. I'm sure she's not like that in person, but she does a great job as the actress Juliet.
Yes, she sure. And I'm really, everybody needs to know that she is so not like Juliet. I can't even begin to tell you.
It's a good thing. Awesome.
Let's talk about. Can we talk about your backstory a little bit? I found it interesting that you were in so many, big movies and up close and personal, Bad Boys, great, tons of television roles as well. And then you made the decision to leave Hollywood and move to, of all places, Nashville.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting story. I have a daughter who is now 19. Her name is Delaney. She studies at NYU.
Awesome.
And when I was going back and forth from Florida to LA, and it's a long story. In the process, at some point in time, my ex-wife, her mom, moved to Nashville, and I was tired of going back and forth, because I wanted to be with my little girl. So I said, okay, well, let's go. So she moved up to Nashville with her husband, and I followed 3 or 4 months later, and I knew that it was game over when I got to Nashville, because there was no work here at all. And I didn't do any work. I opened up a real estate company shortly after. I started a real estate television show, and then I opened up a real estate company shortly after that. And I was basically done. And then, 6 or 7 years later, my daughter said, let's go see. I took her to see High School Musical, and I got back into auditioning for just doing a little community theater stuff. And then I started to do a little bit more TV, and then Nashville came to town, and ta-da, 2 years later, here we are.
You can't escape it. That's pretty cool. How much has the city changed from you kind of getting there and knowing there's no work as an actor, and now it's blowing up? Like, what's the differences that you've noticed?
I got to tell you, you never know how your life is going to change from one day to the next. I was walking around Nashville thinking I'm pretty much done acting, or maybe after my daughter goes away to college, maybe I'll pick it up again. And then out of the blue, this show comes along, and these are things that people, that actors wait all their lives to have happen to them. And here it is. Of all places, let me just tell you, I love Nashville. I've been living here for a while. It's a great place to live. People are nice. But before I moved here, if anybody would have told me I'd be living in Nashville in 2000, whatever this is, I would have laughed right in their face. Let me tell you, it was not on my radar at all. So that's just shows you how God works.
That's so true. Yeah. It's a pretty cool story there.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you, when you were there, you did start your own show, and I watched some clips from that today, the Foreclosure TV show. Can you talk about how, maybe what that decision was like? So realizing, well, you weren't doing the Hollywood thing anymore, but you're still going to go pursue some of your dreams and what you're passionate about doing, and by creating it on your own.
Yeah, well, I kind of made a decision that, first of all, I had to make some money, and secondly, if I was just going to go back and sell real estate, I probably would have killed myself, So instead, I got this idea one day: what if you could
make a little tea. And this was back, that real estate show's been on for a while. So this was back like kind of in the beginning of the quote unquote reality TV thing. So I just decided to put this little show together, and it just caught fire immediately. It's still on. The show's been running for 9 years or something here.
So cool.
Yeah, I just think that's a great lesson for people to, just to do it yourself if you're there.
Listen, it is. If you can't, everybody needs their creative outlet, So this way I was able to keep my hand in a little bit and have some fun. And it worked out well. It generated a lot of business for the company, and that was cool. And everybody in Nashville knows about the show. Unless you don't have a TV, because it's been on for so long. It's pretty popular. It's a fun show. It's silly, but it's fun. It's very effective. And I had a good time doing it. It just, quite honestly, we've been so busy, with the big show, Nashville, that I don't have as much time as I used to mess around with it.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we will leave you with this last question. Since your show has been on for so long, let's hope for the same with Nashville. Do you see a season 3 in the future?
I have not heard, and believe me, I'm always asking. I've not heard anything definite, but I can tell you this: the tide has shifted from around the set from I hope there's a season 3 to when there's a season 3. That's kind of the conversation that I'm hearing.
That's
so
what we...
people are feeling much more positive about it all the time, thanks to people like you and all the fans of the show. It really truly does have a lot of influence, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you're doing. And let's just see. We'll know. I don't think we'll know for sure until May. But confidence is high. That's all I gotta say.
We think so too.
Yeah, we're hoping. I saw your post. It's that your social posts that you've been putting. So we're trying to push for that as well. I do have one last question. When there's a season 3, what would you like to see for Glenn in the next season? Would you like a love interest? Would you anything you'd like to see happen with your character?
Well, it's kind of listen. Here's why I'm laughing, because we've created a theory that if they give you a love interest, you die.
Okay, so we don't want that.
If you think about it, if anybody who has a love interest in this show that's not a regular cast member, they either die or they go away or they get like the Megan treatment tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's a spoiler. I don't know.
No,
But so some of us are like, no, thanks. No love interest. No, just keep me sort of like in there in the background. That's good.
I love it.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. That's great. Keep on doing what Glenn's doing. We like that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ed, for chatting with us tonight. We appreciate it so much.
Yes, definitely.
My pleasure, guys. Have a great night, and I hope to talk to you again some other time.
Definitely.
Okay, sounds
See
good.
ya.
Thanks.
Take care.
What a great guy.
Yeah, so
that was
nice.
fun. We are totally even more Team Glenn now. What you gonna do?
we
Best
are.
manager ever.
Juliet better keep being nice to him.
Yep.
or we're going
That
to get
was
angry.
great.
Yeah, so nice of him to stay up and call in for us. That was great.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's now go ahead and dive into this episode. Since there was so much going on, let's start out talking about Will and Layla and
The new married couple.
Yeah.
The newlyweds. I didn't think that was going to happen, actually. I didn't see it going all the way.
I have to agree with you. I didn't either. I thought it was going to at least drag on for a little bit longer than this did, but I did not think they were going to make it to the altar.
But a little bit of a revelation when Jeff asks Gunnar, is Will gay? Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't know what Gunnar was going to do because I think it could have gone either way. Obviously, he was being a really good friend and he was saying what he knew Will wanted him to say. But at the same time, he could have said the truth. And I don't know. Will's not the one that could have handled that, actually, I don't think. Even being free from, like, you know, what's holding him back, that sort of thing. I think how Gunnar handled it was a true friend, a true best man, if you will.
I was going to say that also. Sorry
Yeah.
to cut into this
No.
conversation. 'Cause I
Hello.
love the show.
We love it.
But yeah, I think that was really good on Gunnar's part, just as a person, as a friend. And if you think about it, that's really not Gunnar's place. And you know, Jeff was coming in from a kind of malicious way to,
Always.
and just even talking to Gunnar, saying that's not going to fly in Nashville. And so he had a more mean, malicious approach to it. And I'm glad that Gunnar took the higher road and didn't answer that.
And he also kind of stepped in one last time. Let me just talk to you. Let me have a word with you right before the marriage actually happened. And I thought maybe that'll do something, but no.
Yeah.
So now you know there's going to be drama. Layla's parents didn't want that to happen. I mean, at some point, it's got to come out. This is just Layla's his beard for the show, I guess.
We did call it, too, that we knew that somehow Jeff was going to be the one to kind of out the situation. And you know, he didn't put it in the public yet or anything, but he was, you know, the one going fishing it out and being a jerk about it. What did you think about the scene when Will and Gunnar get in the argument in their apartment?
I mean, I just think it's sad, honestly, that Will, like, he can't, even when Gunnar, someone who knows him and knows exactly, like, who he is, says the word gay, he flips out. And it's just sad because it's like Gunnar's trying to help you, you know? But, I mean, there's nothing you can do. He has to do that on his own, you know? And it's just a tough situation. I don't think he's going to kick him out, but at some point, I guess he's going to be living with Layla, so we'll see what happens there. No matter what, I think that friendship's still intact.
Yeah, and I think Will's just still insecure about it, and he's not fully accepting himself because he's still lashing out with anger and misunderstanding from other people. So he's not handling it ideally right now, and I think that's just his reaction way to anyone who brings up his homosexuality and whatnot, and that's just how he handles it.
Right.
Well, and I think also just to, not that we're huge fans of hers, but to stand up for Layla, too. It's like, we keep saying how young she looks, and it's just, so to find out, I mean, if it was years from now or whenever, that this whole marriage was a lie, I mean, that's also a really sad situation for her to be in.
Because he's being selfish, honestly.
Yeah.
And this is going to fall back and affect her. I mean, it's going to affect her relationship with her parents. Like, I mean, she's just, I don't know how you come back from that thinking this man loves you, but really deep down, he just needs you.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It's a sad situation.
It is. I don't see
I don't
that
think
ending
it's gonna
well
last.
at all.
It's not
No
gonna
way.
last.
Something's gotta come out by the end of this.
End of this season, definitely.
Yeah. Predict an annulment coming.
Well, as a result of everyone finding out, I think. So,
Early prediction.
good performance by Will, though, by the way.
Yeah.
During the live stream that they were doing with Luke and Deacon.
Yeah. Great to see those
That
three
was
guys.
awesome.
I really loved it.
That was awesome.
But we did say the whole time, we were like, Luke's a little much, like running around that stage. Like, Deacon's got it, Will's got it, but Luke, shoo, settle.
Well, I think he got us from the beginning when he kind of started with the pelvic thrust that kind of got us a little.
But I think that's also Luke's way of trying to prove it to the audience that he's not gay, you know, or not. Sorry, not Luke, but no, I agree. Luke was, but he's known as a performer. I thought we were still talking about Will. But Luke is such a good performer, though, and I think that's his performance. That's his act.
Yeah, and
That's a
probably
lot.
trying to
One
still
up
kind
Deacon, I think, too. He just found out the truth there, which was
Yeah.
kind of a bombshell, and I don't know, he was putting on an act. He knows how to do it. It was interesting
Yeah, there was a lot going on
during this
in
whole
that
entire
30 Yeah,
performance.
yeah.
Because you get the kids meeting for the first time, Maddie and Daphne and Colt. What'd you think of Colt?
Cole, at the moment I saw him, I was like, oh no, a guy counterpart for Maddie.
That's what I was
It's like
hoping.
their exact age, and they're both brooding teenagers who are very, very angsty.
They
I was
need
like,
that, I
no,
think.
they were gonna like get them together.
So you didn't want them to be together?
No, like I just knew that was gonna
That's- yeah.
happen, but I didn't mind them together because they kind of go well.
I like him. Inevitably, like, they're kids. Like, it's okay to put a video up, you know? I mean, I get Raina's whole point of protecting her because we see for a preview next week, it looks like things get pretty bad for Maddie. So I get that, but I also see it coming from Raina trying to protect herself. Nobody knows that she was with Deacon, you know? So it's like, you've got to let her, they're just all trying to stifle her, it seems. Like, she can't really just play her music and meet with Deacon and do her lessons. Like, that's the only thing that makes her happy.
Yeah.
So you give her things that make her happy, and she also has to do her homework to be able to do those things, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm a little torn on this one with Raina's side. I mean, she gave that huge speech to her, but for me, it just felt selfish too. I felt like it was more like, I mean, I get it as her wanting to protect her from social media and saying she's not ready, she hasn't processed it, and I get her being a good mother, but I also feel like that she hasn't processed it.
I think they all need to figure out how to deal with it before it comes out, because inevitably, I mean, I don't know how it hasn't come out already, you know?
Yeah.
It seems kind of crazy.
Well, you know, and Raina, she kind of has to blame herself for getting her family involved in her music profession. So you knew that was coming.
The drama, it was just too much. But how cute were Daphne and Maddie and their song? Oh,
That was awesome.
cute. I just can't wait to see more of them. I love them. They might be my favorite singers on this show.
Me too. I want more songs. Exactly. We were talking too. I mean, how cute Daphne is going to be. I mean, I really want to see like in 10 years if she's a big, you know, like
Star.
country
Huge.
star.
Both
Yeah. Both of them.
Even her acting, though, I love because you see her make those little faces. And but she's still like that little sweet angel of a child. She like does what people ask her to do. Like, she loves Luke. She just likes everyone.
Yeah.
She's so happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to see the full performance of the song.
Yeah.
They
I'm
need
sure
to
it'll
put
be
this
somewhere.
on ABC or something. Give us a full performance of this.
Ugh, so cute. I love it. But Teddy can't even wrap his head around it, honestly.
Teddy.
I agree. I wanted to say Teddy too.
Goodness.
If-
I mean,
if he-
yeah.
You go.
Sorry. There's one thing with being a father. Yes, Maddie's acting out and being that rebel teenager.
Because she
but
wants to
it's-
meet her real dad.
Yes,
it's
but-
not that
But
much
it's
to ask.
how he handles it. He's trying to assert his authority. I get that. And when you have Deacon always being there and not really understanding the full picture, but it's just the way Teddy approaches it. And he's always has to throw, just because you're the biological father doesn't mean you're a real father. And it's how he handles it that's not right, which makes him look like an ass.
That one made me so angry again tonight that he threw that in his face.
Yeah.
And I was so glad when Deacon responded, you know, because I was kept out of it. Because I just hate that they both kind of,
He's been out of the
and
loop
Teddy
for
throw that on him.
13 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know,
it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
yeah, and like she brought up again tonight how when it got exposed, then he went back to his old ways and da da. But it's like, what really do they expect when they keep this? It's not just like you didn't tell him. I can't even come up with a good.
I can't
but you know, it's
either.
not like a small thing. This
Right.
is a giant thing. I mean, how do you think he's going to react when you find out you don't know your daughter for that many years of her entire life and everything's a lie?
Right, and it's not like Deacon's purposely telling Maddie to defy her father. That's on Maddie's own accord. She's the one who wants to see Deacon. Deacon doesn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Teddy just keeps throwing Deacon. It's like Deacon's fault because he's supposed to be the authoritative figure in this scenario.
But
and
he's
the
not, because
older.
nobody
He's
tells him
not.
that she's grounded. And that's where he comes in as not only a father figure, but also as a friend when he's like, you got to tell me these things.
Yeah.
Like, I can help you. I want to spend more time with you. But if you're going to lie, he knows how to be that casual, like, friend. She really looks up to him like that, not looks up to him as, like, parents are the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
You know? No wonder she wants to be Maddie Claiborne right now because Teddy, the mayor, is a bit annoying.
Slight bit.
Annoying.
And I mean, honestly, he's been trying to one up Deacon since he knew about Raina and Deacon. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it happened tonight. He got his shot to show Deacon that he got the girl.
Yeah, we're
If
gonna
they
dive
really
into
want
that
that
one.
girl after she's treated them that way.
Good.
You
Either
know,
one
that
of 'em.
girl, I gotta say, I could have had a glass of wine myself tonight when she finally got outed. Because now he comes home and she's trying to be all
She's the
sexy and like want to,
terrible.
get with him. Before she was like the most unsexy person. Didn't want to. I mean, he would be kissing her. She didn't respond. We're like, how are you not responding? You know, now after she slept with Teddy, now it just makes me so mad that she's living with that lie and then.
I
trying to be all
actually
supportive of
cannot
him.
stand her. And then even when it's over and she's in the apartment, and he's like, why are you still here? And this is her problem, is that she wants to be that person who saves someone. And that's what he said. You can't save me anymore. Like, get out.
Yeah.
You did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you made your bed. You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it just really
It was
gets on
great
my
because we were
nerves.
both yelling at the screen, like, why are you in his house?
Leave.
Because we saw him packing his bag, and we're like, no, kick her ass out. And
He
then
didn't
finally,
even punch Teddy, you know?
No.
He he restrained himself from that. And I was like, thank goodness.
we were worried that he was going to hurt his hand
When he
since he
hit the
punched the wall,
wall.
though. So we're glad that that didn't happen.
I just,
Yeah,
that
I
could've been
cannot with her. I'm so glad that's done.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful. It's awful. And I just pray that Deacon does not go on a downward spiral.
I know.
I think that's too much of a storyline that's already been played out, so I'm hoping that's not the
Exactly.
case.
Me too. It was hard to tell from the trailer for next week, but yeah, I just don't want to see that happen again.
I was
We
like,
need
well,
something else.
alcoholism can't be his only crutch.
Yeah.
And we've seen it all of season 1, half of season 2. You know, if he goes down on another spiral, they can't go back to alcohol.
It kind
Yeah.
of looked like he was really struggling, though, because he didn't know, at least in the preview, he doesn't know that it's out that he's Maddie's
Yeah.
dad. So all the newspapers, whatever, come out with that. So he must not have called Raina back when you hear her that night. And remember, Luke was like, go take a minute, talk to your family, whoever that family may be.
Yeah.
And you see her call Deacon. We got to talk about Maddie. So it's like, I love it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he just went away and was like not answering anything and not listening to
Hoping for
anything.
it.
Just went somewhere. Yeah, but
We'll
please.
see.
Please, please, please.
We'll see.
Yes, we shall.
Another downward spiral.
Scarlet.
Girlfriend.
Well, the pills are back.
Goodness.
They're staying. They're here to stay right now, and it is. I don't know. It's sad, cause really it's that dang producer, whatever his name was. Mad, so mad at him.
Liam. Yeah.
Get her started on something like
Yeah.
that, and then you leave.
Well, and especially it's sad when we see, like tonight, it was so great to see her stand up to Juliet and then go out there and have the guts to play the song that she really wanted to play and dedicate it to her. I thought that was a great
I
moment.
loved it. I was like,
and the song was
finally.
beautiful, you know?
She's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
That was a great performance, and I loved how Juliet's original approach was like just make noise, because Juliet kind of lost sidetrack of what her real passion is, which is music and performing and having those fans. Because right now, with her whole career on the downward spiral, she just wants the good reviews and her fans back, and so she's saying make all this noise just so they give you attention again, not for the love of it, but just to get people's attention. And then the fact that Scarlett sang this song just for the love and art of it, and then it made Juliet realize, oh, she's actually good. She's their true performer.
But man, that jealousy will keep her down because she is so jealous, and she was jealous when Scarlett was singing that song. That girl was crazy.
Yeah, when we saw that, we were like, how is Avery even going to keep dating this person? Because that
She's got
is
so many issues.
so dark and ugly. I mean, that's really hard. I mean, bless him for forgiving her and having an open heart. But it's like, I don't know how many times she could do that and have him still, you know, she
Have
will lose him if she
anyone. Have
keeps
anyone.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
She's got Glenn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all of them, she treats people horribly. And I guess they see the bigger picture of this is her vulnerability, this is her insecurities. But at the same time, like, when are you going to stop?
Right.
Everyone can be insecure, but stop acting like that. That was just hateful.
Yeah. And you get to the point where you can't, that's not an excuse. You can't treat people like that, and you gotta learn.
Man. But Avery's going to be a good producer.
Yeah.
And, you know, she still does those little digs, though, with him, like, because I let him do this or
Yeah.
because I brought him along. Like, that's just so demeaning to him, too.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, something's got to give. And he's being patient, but he can only be patient for so long, I think.
She's so quick to turn too. It's like then by the end we have her doing shots, you know, with Scarlett and saying, you know, be prepared for what we're gonna do next.
And opening up to Avery, saying she's terrified that he has her heart and he can destroy her. That was big for her.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, Scarlett left alone at the bar after pills and shots can only mean
That's a
destruction.
deadly combination.
It's not a good situation.
No, it's not.
But it's sad though, because Scarlett's such a meek person in general, and then to have this kind of crutch in her life, and just at the start of her career, and when it's really gonna blow up, who knows what she's gonna do.
And I don't know what the good answer is for her, because she doesn't like the traveling. She doesn't like the after party. She doesn't like the industry stuff. She just likes to perform. So being a big, huge star doesn't seem like the life for her. Can she be happy doing something different? It just doesn't. She wanted to be fired. Like, she's unhappy. And those pills are going to be the things she leans on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like she should have been one of those artists that didn't do the big, like, stadium tours and that type of thing. Just did more intimate venues and with, really, like, kind of the calmer crowds that really are her biggest fans.
Yep.
I think that is what she'd be best at.
Mm-hmm. She's not good at those live streams like Raina.
No.
Let's hope that something comes from that, because as you heard Jeff announce, Will's single surpassed Raina James. So I don't know what that means for Raina's album or for her label that all of these acts are associated with, but doesn't sound so good. And I don't like Jeff winning, because he is one ass. He is an ass.
big
He
ass.
really is. I was like, literally, I was telling JJ, because he's following Raina and just keeps talking, doesn't stop talking. I literally think I would blow up. I'd be like, stop. Leave me alone. I just would not be able to handle it.
I want Raina to just like turn around and sock him.
I think she will eventually. She slams that door in his face, thank goodness. But whew, he's a lot to handle.
I hope so, because I don't know how she puts up with it and just stays so calm.
Well, we'll be
Well,
seeing him.
she is a professional being, and she is starting her own label. So I think, and then also having Juliet a part of her tour and part of her label now, that that bad press isn't really helping her. It's hindering this launching of her new label. So that's
a lot to handle.
Yeah.
We can only hope she comes out on top as the queen of country music.
Good one. She will. She will. All right. Anything else to wrap up this episode?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, let's dive into some news and gossip.
All right.
AfterBuzz TV News.
As Ed was talking about on the call, and we couldn't find it quickly enough, but they are doing a Nashville on the Record, which basically ABC is going to do a music special. It's going to air April 23rd, and basically they go behind the scenes of they do interviews and performances from the real life Nashville artists who write the songs.
Awesome.
They're kind of going behind the scenes to see who's coming up with this great stuff that we're listening to. So they'll be interviewing artists like Ashley Monroe, striking matches. They're even going to talk to the show's music producer, Buddy Miller. So lots of good stuff. Be on the lookout for that on ABC April 23rd. Let's see what else. Oh, the show was set to film an episode, in Fort Campbell in Kentucky. They've been airing it or filming it this week. They're actually getting real soldiers and families of soldiers to be extras, be in the background of the show, and they did a live performance where they invite anyone with military ID to come out and watch. So kind of cool. I guess we'll be seeing that probably in the May episodes coming up, so that's pretty fun.
That's funny, because I actually got a casting alert that Nashville was hiring extras in Kentucky. I was like,
And
so
that's
that
what it
makes
was for.
sense now.
I wonder
Got it.
why they're in Kentucky, but they're at Fort Campbell, so pretty cool. We'll see what that's all about. Also, some news for Hayden Panettiere. She is officially a Nashville girl because she sold her LA home for about $3 million. She will not be in LA anymore. Guess it's Nashville is now home for her.
And I had that one too in Splitting Time, because her fiance also has a condo in Hollywood, Florida. So different Hollywood.
So she's getting out of this big city. Interesting. And you had one piece on.
I had, just a couple more to add on you. More Hayden. She also, if you want to check out some great pictures of her in some magazines, she is a beautiful cover of Brides magazine, and she's also in Cosmo's, UK's Cosmo for April. And great art. She said something sweet in there that I thought was a little her character like, but she was talking about her fiance, and she said she is in awe of what he does and who he is, and it's a very strong feeling. He doesn't let me get away with things. He has the patience of a saint, but he's no shrinking violet.
Sounds like Avery.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And other big casting news, Eric Close, Teddy, landed a big gig. He's joining Clint Eastwood's film American Sniper, so he'll be also along with Bradley Cooper in that. So I'll look forward to seeing that one.
Look at Teddy.
Yeah, go Teddy, go.
That's
Hopefully
all.
you're a little nicer in there, Teddy.
Right.
One can only
Sniper
hope.
film. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
Okay,
right.
so let's move into predictions.
Oh,
And
goodness.
now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, what do you got, ladies?
Feels
You
like
go
some
ahead.
bad news. I just feel like Raina's album is not going to end up being where she needs it to be. So I think the label is going to struggle. And I see Will having a real hard time when everyone finds out the truth. And poor Layla has to get this marriage annulled.
I think things are going to take a turn for the worse before they get better. I think Raina might drop Julia from the label. Therefore, Juliet will drop Scarlett from her tour. Therefore, Scarlett will keep taking those pills, and then down goes her career. I mean, I know this sounds very pessimistic, but I think those are just the domino effect that's just going to snowball. It's going to get crazy.
Well, it was your wildlife's going to get you down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll
I
see what
agree with you,
happens.
ladies, and I'm also excited to see. We've been talking about it here for a while now. We want to know more about Scarlett's mom. So from the trailer, it looks like we're going to see a little bit of that. So I'm anxious to find out. But I think that instigation is also going to help really lead to her downfall.
I'm
in the
really
next coming
excited
weeks.
for her mom because I noticed she was a cast member of Friday Night Lights. So she was Tyra's mom, and now she's back with Connie Britton again. So they keep some of the same people going. I
Yeah.
love it. So
Nice.
that will be interesting
It's
to
all
find
one
out.
big happy family.
It really is.
All right, well, that's it for tonight. So where can they find you guys at?
You can find me on Twitter at Whitney Lane Fern and on my website, whitney-lane.com.
And you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
And I'm at JJ Jurgens on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, and my blog at tomgirl.tv. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again next week.
Yay.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.